Are vampirism and the left-hand path the same thing? Do they coincide? Yes and no. Let me break it down for you all. This is also going to be triggering for a few, probably a lot of my left-hand path practitioners and my vampiric practitioners. First and foremost, not all vampires are on the left-hand path. Most, yes, theoretically. But not all practice in the same way as left-hand path practitioners that are not necessarily going through the Qliphoth or going through Qliphothic initiations and so forth. They're going through their own initiations. Now, the two do correlate. There are a lot of vampiric practitioners that are on the left-hand path in practice, and a lot of them who are not. Here's where the differences are, especially what's occurring on Witch Talk and what the others think of one another, especially as somebody being involved in both paths. I've met a lot of practicing vampires who are not fond of the way that fellow left-hand path practitioners are working their craft. And vice versa. I've met a lot of left-hand path practitioners, sorry, my dog's in the background, who have zero to little trust in people who are on the vampiric path, especially in psychic vampirism. And here's where I'm going to ruffle some feathers about how the two are separate. There's a lot of drama on Witch Talk and people throwing hexes and curses, especially from grimoires and texts working demonic magic, right? Over people that they don't even know, taking a part of their energy, their essence, to put into this hex and curse, petitioning certain infernals, certain deities to work on their behalf. Meanwhile, the people just practicing vampirism find it comical and hilarious that somebody wants to waste their energy on somebody that they don't even know, put in the time and effort and work into conjure, into spellcraft, when in the vampiric thought form and how we practice, why not just simply siphon and take their energy and slowly destruct them? Not just slowly destruct them, but slowly siphon them to drain them ever so slowly or rapidly, depending on the vampire, and either feed from that energy to transmute it into wonderful things in their life, or simply just take their energy and feed off of them because they're a predator and they can. Meanwhile, left-hand path practitioners not practicing vampirism find that vampirism is unethical, that they're just looking to be predators and drain whoever the fuck they can, because some of them do function that way, that they'll just meet somebody in a crowd that they don't like and they'll drain their energy, and they have the ability and knowledge and talent to do so. They don't got to throw any hands. They don't got to throw any hexes or curses. They simply know how to look at you, even through the screen on the phone right now, and hypnotize you and drain you. Or, in my personal experience, find you in astral very easily. And some of you who think that you have your barriers and wards up are actually quite easy to break into. I'm just saying. Why? Because in vampirism, we take time, not all vampires, correction, and people who have been practicing vampirism for a while, we take time to study the enemy. We take time to study your surroundings. You see my surroundings, right? My haunted dolls. We take time to study your bedroom, your location, where you're at, your essence, your energy. All things that add to a puzzle piece of how to be able to track you down easily. And you may have all of the wards and transmutations up, but if somebody is gifted in astral vampirism, right? Because there are different kinds of vampirism. It's not just psychic vampirism. It's not just touching. It's not just looking at you. If somebody is gifted in astral vampirism, which takes a lot to get there, I would know. I've been practicing it for years, and it takes a lot to get there. A lot of discipline, a lot of dedication. They can hunt you and they will find you, despite your barriers. I promise. I wholeheartedly promise on that. As a left-hand path practitioner myself, I'm speaking from both sides, okay? Left-hand path, you have petitioned the infernals, the demons, the deities that you're working with to go and strike at another person, whether it's a left-hand path practitioner, right-hand path vampire. You have invested a part of you into putting your energy into that spell work. The fact that your energy has gone into spell work makes it fair game for anybody, and I mean anybody, to take and feed off of. Do you understand that? I don't think a lot of my left-hand path practitioners do understand that. And as somebody who practices both vampirism and on the left-hand path, I think it's essential that I speak out loud about that because there's a lot of lack of awareness in that regard. Now, am I saying that vampirism is superior to people working left-hand path work in regards to hexing and cursing? Not necessarily. Hexing and cursing, like the art of vampirism, is literally an art and a talent that takes years. Not just a couple months, not just a couple weeks, but years to develop that niche. Not just a niche in regards to either whether you're hunting somebody or striking at somebody, but it is an art form to literally master. And a lot of people think that they have mastered the art of cursing and hexing because they work with certain infernals. Well, the infernals will also give you a slither of power just to see you fuck your life up with it because they love chaos. And people seem to forget that they have a dislike for humans. Sorry. Now, I feel pretty confident in the infernals that I work with and the offerings that I give them, but they're still not my attack dogs. Nor do I expect them to work on my behalf because I'm petty and egocentric over an argument I've had with somebody who hurt my ego, who made me jealous. As well as in vampirism, if my ego is hurt and jealous and I go to strike and feed off of somebody to drain them because I just want to be the superior predator, that can also make me as a vampire severely sick if I don't know how to transmute that properly in my vessel. There is such a thing as feeding too much. Both paths is very easy for somebody to get on their ego high horse and think that one is superior to the other. One is a spiritual predator, they can drain you. The other one is gifted or supposedly gifted in hexes and curses and can strike. At the end of the day, both paths are an art form to master, are an art form to learn. It's literally a piece of art to be able to know precisely the ins and outs of how it works. Okay, it's not something you're going to learn in a couple months or even a couple years. Though there are people who have just started, who are new on their path, who are actually very gifted after just a couple months, after just a couple weeks. But the true art is knowing your power, knowing when to strike, knowing how to strike, and knowing that people from the internet are not who you should be striking against. And if it is, be careful who you're targeting. Because whether you are a left-hand path practitioner or a vampiric practitioner, you don't know the level of how adept that practitioner is. You may think that you know. And regardless of which path you're on or whether you practice both paths, it's always the ones who are silent that have the strongest and most vile and vicious of bites. So, keep in mind, this isn't a game. The left-hand path isn't a game. Vampirism isn't a game. The occult isn't a game. Take your craft seriously. Take pride in it. Do not be stupid and dumb by getting angry or envious or jealous off of people on the internet. Because right there, you have failed yourself.